So I recently finished watching Arifureta as a refresher before I began watching the new season, and suddenly felt the urge to make some content on this show. I was contemplating reviewing this series, but ultimately decided to do another watch guide video instead for anyone wanting to get into the anime. Before covering the proper watch order, I'll explain what this show is about and give a brief rundown of the main cast. Arifureta is an adaptation of the 13-volume light novel isekai series written by Ryo Shirakome. This show takes place in the world of Tortoise, where a high school class has been summoned by the god Ihit to save humanity from demonkind. The anime is primarily centered around a student named Hajime Nagamo, who is betrayed by one of his classmates while the group was training in a dangerous labyrinth. After awakening on a lower floor and getting attacked by vicious monsters, Hajime devours the flesh of the creatures he kills in order to survive, which transforms his body and grants him access to their powers. Using his newly acquired abilities and inherent skills as a synergist, he descends the depths of the labyrinth in search of a way out. Hajime's physical transformation and experience fighting for his life inside the Great Orcus Labyrinth drastically changes his personality. Far different from the meek, bullied kid he was before, Hajime has become much more cruel and a lot less sympathetic to the plights of others. Unlike most protagonists, he usually won't rush in to help others without good reason, and tends to be merciless towards his enemies. If you're a fan of cool-edged lord-type characters, then you're really gonna like Hajime. That being said, the rest of the main cast sorta balances him out and occasionally keep his morals in check. A harem eventually forms around Hajime, as the girls he meets quickly fall for him. The first of which is Yui, an immortal vampire girl that was sealed away for over 300 years deep inside the labyrinth. Given the intimate nature of their relationship, you might be a little turned off by his main love interest being a lolly character. After emerging from the labyrinth, Hajime is determined to find a way to return home. To that end, him and Yui decide to conquer the other great labyrinths in the hopes of finding ancient magic capable of transporting them back to Hajime's world. The pair are soon joined by several other women, such as the Rabbit Man, Shia Holia, and the Dragonborn Teocloris. Shia is the liveliest member of Hajime's little group, but is also the most vain. Courageous and full of determination, Shia is much more competent than she initially seems and is a valuable asset to his party. Although there's plenty of fan-servicey shots with this character, it's pretty tame in comparison to some of the ecchi moments with Teo. If you like darkness from Konosuba, I have no doubt you'll love this character. She's basically a horny masochist who has a lot of pride in her noble race. Now that I've gone through the cast a bit, it's time to run down the most ideal way to watch the series. Although the light novels concluded back in 2022, the entire story has yet to be fully animated. Arifureta's narrative has currently been adapted across 3 seasons and multiple OVAs. While it's possible to enjoy the series without ever seeing any of the supplementary content, I highly recommend watching everything available in chronological order to get an experience closer to the source material. Unfortunately, a few of the OVAs aren't accessible to stream legally on Crunchyroll or Hulu, so you'll have to rely on unofficial websites like 9anime, Gogo Anime, or Naya to view them. Just make sure that your virus protection software is up to date and you got an ad blocker on before visiting some of these sites. Anyway, the first thing you should watch is the 5-minute prologue that covers the events that took place prior to the premiere. The OVA shows the characters prior to being summoned to Tortoise and what happened once they arrived at Haley Kingdom. Sadly, the subtitles for this mini episode were pretty bad, but you should be able to piece together a lot of what's being said. I suggest trying to find a website with a better translation than the one on Gogo Anime if possible. Once you've finished watching the prologue, you can dive straight into the first season, which is only 13 episodes. From there, you need to watch the Yui's Diary and Hot Springs Eternal OVAs. These humorous little shorts take place at a hot spring and should be viewed back-to-back, starting with Yui's Diary. Disregarding the credits, it should take you about 16 minutes in total to finish. Next, jump ahead to episode 13 of Season 2, entitled From a Detour to the World's Strongest. This full-length episode takes place before the events of the second season, while the group continues traveling with a young merfolk girl named Mew. After finishing that episode, you should then watch the first 6 episodes of the second season. From there, you need to watch both parts of the Miraculous Meeting and the Phantasmagorical Adventure OVAs. Unlike the previously mentioned OVAs, both are available to watch on Crunchyroll in English and have a much longer runtime, about 45 minutes altogether when including the credits. These additional episodes cover the group's final outing with Miu as they set out in search of the Shining Sea. Chronologically speaking, the events of these additional episodes occur before Hajime and the girls part ways, with Miu in episode 7, which takes place several days after the previous one. Once you're done with those episodes, finish up the remainder of Season 2, starting from episode 7, before finally going into the third season. Whereas Season 2 is only 13 episodes, the third season is slated to be 16 episodes and should conclude this February. And with that being said, you now know the best way to watch Arifureta. I hope this guide helps improve your enjoyment of the series. Feel free to ask any questions you may have about the show, and I'll do my best to answer them. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more content like this.